Well, if it isn't the rematch, loser bracket final, everybody. The first qualifier for Meta Madness kicks in again, and we got the Cats against the Saboteurs. And they are banning Cho'Gath right away. So in case you weren't aware, they already played against each other. They played against each other in the winner bracket, and guess who won? It was the Cats. They caused a huge upset and sent the Saboteurs into the losers bracket. So now we have a rematch between the two teams in this best of 3. And it's going to be great. The series was amazing, and I just hope that we're going to get an equally fun game as we did in the winner bracket. Now again, this is the first qualifier for Meta Madness. We have 2 rules in the tournament. Rule number 1, you can only play hero once within a series. The heroes that are played in game number 1, they cannot be played again in game number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And the same is true for every other hero that gets played. So there's going to be a lot of hero diversity, and it limits the hero pool as we're progressing through a match. In addition, there's also in Meta Madness going to be pre-bans. Now for qualifier number 1, we don't have any pre-bans because pre-bans are always hinging on sub goals that we're hitting on Twitch. But once that we're going into the second qualifier, there will be a few pre-bans. I will let you know and obviously list them down here as well once we are in the second qualifier, and the bans will likely then increase as we're going into qualifier number 3, 4, and obviously hitting the playoffs later on. So it's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I really can't wait. With that, we have now in our losers bracket, that means whoever loses here is already 3rd place guaranteed. Now, for the main event, we have $2,000 of prize money, all financed by me for the tournament here. So we don't have a major sponsor or anything for the event here. So it's all sponsored by myself, and we're gonna see how far and how much the teams can do here, because it's gonna be like 6 weeks of content. I believe we have 5 qualifiers in total that we're splitting over 2 days because it's full double elimination systems, and then in addition to that the playoffs. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic. Maiev is the first pick here for Rutsu, and for the blue team we get Sylvanas and Leoric right away, so we'll see what they can do. I'm just giddy, honestly. I just want to have the rematch now. By the way, if you want to support the tournament, one thing that you can also check out, I have the link to the shop still in the description. Some of you might not even know, but a couple of months ago, people were just pestering me so much to finally put a merch shop on that we did that. We had a couple of different collections already. Fruit Fly collection. We still have the HGC collection for the Heroes Gaming community. And just for the tournament here, we also added now a Meta Madness collection. So if you want to support the tournament, if you want to support the stream, or you just want to look for a new mug and check that out, you can do that. The link is in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. So yeah, have a look there. Dehaka for Hazu. The AoE on Infernal Shrines, they have Death Knight already. Every single time I see something along those lines, I'm just immediately thinking, yes, exactly, Vala and Uther as a potential double pick towards the end. We've seen it so many times right now, and the Cats are just looking suspiciously at the draft, and they're thinking like, wait a second. How about no? And they're just getting rid of Vala. I'm saying, okay, let's not deal with this now. But what we're getting for the red team, that's of course the next question. What do they get rid of? What are they afraid of here? Do they ban out Nagrom, for example, and try to limit his hero pool at the front a bit? And yes, they do. They get rid of Johanna. She's always a solid choice on Infernal Shrines, as she is obviously on other maps, like for example Tomb of the Spider Queen. But no Jojo for game number 1 in this best of 3. And with our double pick, I'm still fairly curious what Drakia, for example, is going to pick for himself here. And also what we're getting together with Leoric. I mean, Leo can be really, really nice on this, but is it again Diablo for Nagrom? Are they going to do that again? Yes, they do. Okay, Diablo's in, and we get Malfurion for support. And also, you can really try and zone the opponent out a bit and just drive a wedge between them if you're using the choke points around the shrine, and just drop a couple of roots there. So that can be pretty sweet if you play that properly. And on the side of the opponents, on the side of the Saboteurs, oh, what's it gonna be? I swear they probably would have picked Uther Vala. But now we get Tyrael and we get Greymane. I love that as well. That's another great combo here. I love that particularly Greymane is starting to come back a bit more often, and together with Tyrael and the sanctification that he can provide, that's obviously pretty sweet. Now technically you could also go into Judgment, and we've seen Judgment before as well, but I suppose that with Maiev and with Greymane we're going to have Sanctification as the level 10 choice. Whereas Drakia is now the final player to pick a hero before we're going into this one. And well, he goes straight for some more damage, I suppose. It is Junkrat. Game on, everybody! Losers bracket final at the first qualifier for Meta Madness. Infernal Shrines is the map. Game number 1. The Cats on the left with Captain Rex on Malfurion. We got Herath on Leoric, Unforgiven on Sylvanas, Drakia with Junkrat, and Nagrom on Diablo. To the right side, it's the Saboteurs. Now that they dropped Yasuo, at least for the day, we have them also without them sabotaging the lobby anymore. Yeah, Yasuo had huge problems with his connection. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but I really hope that he can fix it for the next qualifier. We get Dino and Greymane. Rutsu on Maiev, Hazops is playing Dehaka, Death Knight on Stukov, and we got Bad Benny on Tyrael. So far, so good. Let's get this show on the road, and let's see a little bit on which team is taking the lead here. Before the winner bracket match between the two teams, I would have clearly said, okay, this is obviously going to be a huge advantage from the Saboteurs. They are the favorites here. But we were quickly proven wrong. There was an upset happening in the winner bracket. Now, of course, the Saboteurs would love to come in here and say, okay, guys, it was just a fluke. We're now going to show you what we're really made of. And we're gonna just shut them down super quickly. But the Cats are gonna be very eager to prove that they are able to take the red team down for a second time and get the lead here. And they're starting off with a nice move against Hazops at the top lane. The old man is in trouble and gets moonfired pretty quickly by Malfurion, and a couple of auto attacks that towards the end are sealing the deal. So yeah, that's that. Now, with 1 kill to 0 already, a little bit of an advantage, nothing crazy, but it's definitely a nice morale boost if you're the one walking away with first blood. So down here, it's a camp that they're still going to get, even with Diablo moving in. Nagrom is just a second too late, but they forced Dehaka down, and he misses the drag. Okay, Tyrael is the one to take over on the side lane for the time being. And yeah, they are still rotating as best they can. Okay, now we got Leo gonna rotate between the middle and the top. Bad Benny, Dehaka, a bit of interchangeable how they want to play this. Dehaka is gonna take over eventually, I would assume. But with the early lead and experience, I mean, again, at the end of the day, you really want to get an early level 7. That's kind of the goal for the first objective, so that you have the talent advantage over your opponent if you can. If you can also walk away with a few more mercenary camps early on than your opponent, then even better. But Junkrat is low and gets crushed. Now they might get the counter kill against Hazu. That was a nice move towards the end, but he is able to get away. I think the team realized too late that they had a chance there. And also the rest of the red team was still driving a wedge between them, making it even harder. So, kill for a kill, and a leading experience for the red team. Small one, but again, it's there, and if they can get the early level 7, just having a better position on the shrine usually helps you already a lot. This time it's going to be a top lane shrine that we're looking at. And so far, okay, both teams are about to go for their camp. Junkrat is now making the way over towards the left, as you can see on the minimap. Greymane and Stukov have already done the job on the right side, and it's time to get into the first real team fight here. And also Junkrat needs a couple of hit points. Tyrael is saying hello too. I mean, is Greymane? Nah, I don't think they're gonna try anything here. It's fun when a team early on decides to be super aggressive. Obviously, it's a bit of a coin flip whether you win or lose that battle then. But if you do, you can really pull ahead heavily. In this case, they're not doing any of that, but it would have been kind of nice. So Rutsu with another tether attempt on Maiev. And just that combo between Maiev and Stukov is always neat when you can tether people straight into a lurking arm and make sure that they don't even have a chance to use abilities to get out of harm's way and then get murdered. So if they can combo that properly with Tyrael using a Sanctification later and Greymane just going ham on everybody, that should be a lot of potential kills. They have the early level 7, so that's the talent advantage I was talking about earlier, but currently the team isn't really doing anything about it. Instead, they're sending the Haka into the middle and allow the Cats to get to level 7 themselves. So yes, the Cats currently getting the experience there, but also trying to get a kill, and they go for Greymane, who just gets booped around from the right to the left to the right, and here's the kill. Malfurion is the one that falls first. Sylvanas is able to escape, but look at Rutsu. Rutsu is just going for it. He nearly gets a kill here against Unforgiven, and Tyrael realizes that he's most likely going to die here, so he goes for Sylvanas, takes her out, And Tyrael is going to fall eventually, but still, traded the kill, and they are still continuing the fight with Rutzo dropping rather low, but he gets another heal from Stukov, and Diablo just wasn't able to close the distance quickly enough and get him destroyed. So it is the blue team that walks away with the Frozen Punisher in the early game, but the gap in experience is brutal. I mean, Dehaka was busy during all of this, and just look how far ahead they are. They opened up the entire wall. Now, first of all, the blue team has to do the same thing up at the top, and even that is a bit of a question mark. But thanks to him rotating over, they're an entire level ahead right now. One entire level, which is pretty neat. So that paid off extremely well for them. That paid off really, really well. Sylvana is obviously quite awesome now if you can protect her a bit as she moves onto these lanes so that she can get extra damage onto structures, but it's nothing compared to what we've already seen from the Saboteurs. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, level 10 is in, and look at that gap. More than a level. More than a level ahead. They're just looking at this, they're like, yep, world's our oyster, let's go. They can push for any structure if they want to. Can take the camps here instead. They have a lot going on for themselves, even if the blue team catches up to level 10 around objective number 2, which is likely. But still, blue team has to sit tight and sit back. They can't do anything else. So yeah, there it is. We already have down at the bottom of the map now another camp claimed, and they could in the meantime also go for the one over here, of course, which is the only remaining camp on the map. And with that now, we still have the chance to well, maybe see them go and force a fight, but it doesn't really seem like it. They're totally happy to play this a bit slow and rely on that level advantage for later on in the game, so they haven't really capitalized on their heroic abilities at all. Didn't want to push for anything, didn't want to risk anything. Instead just played slow, cool, calm, collected. So right now, Twilight Dream is in, and Tomb as well. Nagrom, by the way, really low, in real trouble, and goes down. Did not have his soul stacked properly, so he goes down, and Leo is barely getting out of harm's way as we have the Saboteurs going for another attack, trying to drop Drak here, but instead they lose Tyrael. Now the good news is that they still get a kill themselves as they are able to destroy Leoric, but yep, that was a decent trade there. And we didn't even see any kind of attempt to go straight into a sanctification. So for Tyrael it was a little bit annoying because he straight went into Junkrat trap. He tried to drag Junkrat down, but at the same time he got trapped and then ran straight into trouble. Also, all of this happening straight within the range of the fort, so bad news for him. That level lead persists though. That level lead is still there. We're now looking at 13,000 damage for Maiev. We got 12,000 for Junkrat. And it's a bit of a slower approach into the game, I gotta say. Seems like the Saboteurs are really taking this one quite serious. Which I like. Again, it's a rematch. They already lost in the winner bracket. They want to make sure this doesn't happen again. And in the winner bracket, we also had some absolutely insane combos. This was the match where we saw Murky, the match where we got Cho'Gall. So it was wild. Absolutely wild. But right now, it's more of a normal first map at least. So, as is, we get the virulent reaction, and that little talent advantage is obviously nifty when you're going for the next objective. So the blue team has to push into an opponent that has a clear lead over them in talents and could use that now. The APOC combo, not too shabby though, but there's still a chance to get the ult through, and nope, not happening. Gets interrupted on the sanctification. They get the counter kill against Diablo on the other hand. And yep, that's pretty nice. So, what already gone with that? We have 21 to 12 stacks towards the objective. A real good connect from Azu against Unforgiven, but he cannot get the kill. In the meantime, it seems like the second objective is going to go to the red team, but they also have to send Roots to topside so that he can save the fort. Well, this thing is going to get destroyed by the Shaman camp. Nobody's really contesting this anymore, though. So we have 4 kills to 8 and the Mortar Punisher. Let's go. With that, we have to push straight for the middle. Heroes is also coming back. Yeah, and it's party time. Let's see what they can do here. Currently it's a 5 versus 5. Maiev isn't with them though. She's still at the top, but they go for Nagrom again. And Nagrom... Oh, Nagrom falls again. And even Leo is having early trouble as the first fort of game 1 gets demolished. Maiev still at the top. And Leo nearly dying to the Punisher. Damn. That one really wanted to kill, didn't it? That Punisher was sitting there, was like, I can kill people as well. 4 deaths on Diablo. Now, to be fair, Tyrell has also died 3 times, so they're actually pretty close. Both of them have died a couple of times, but the keep in the middle is now down to 50% HP all of a sudden. And while Maiev got finally stopped by Leoric at the top, she still was able to do the damage here as well. And the Haka, he's already moving down to the bottom of the map and taking more camps here too. So, yeah. Talking about taking camps, I mean, they're not even stopping there. They're immediately going for the one on the left side. They're painting the entire map red now. And as they are already relying on level 16 talents, this makes this whole endeavor even easier for them. So, yeah, there it is. We got Executioner as a level 16 choice, the Vengeful Knives, and we got the Tunneling Claws. Alright. Plus, also, Heredic Reforging after the Holy Ground initially. So with Holy Ground, they can still make a couple of pretty neat plays there later, especially in choke points. Towards the top, for example, around the shrine. And here too, so yeah, that's another one. They can trap Diablo again if they play their cards right, and he's already trying to do that. So yes, displacement is there. They also connected the disc with Sylvanas, and she is dead too. Nicely done. Even Leo in trouble. That's a triple kill. I don't want to say out of nowhere, but just with a quick flip, they are able to turn this around, kill 3 heroes, go in the middle, drop the keep, and now a chance to maybe even eliminate the core. Death timers are low though, so you gotta be careful. They have Greymane and they still have Sanctification. Those are huge tools when you're trying to take this one on and win the game here, so you definitely can try to pull that off. But you also have to be careful around it. But yeah, there's the Sanctification already, and they burn that core down quickly. Not able to get the complete destruction of it yet, but it's looking good. Stukov is gone though, 50%. Oh, they lose 3, they lose 4. They're not able to finish it. Hazuops dies, the Tyrell explosion of another 5% damage. It's 31% on the core, and even with those 5 kills, even with a 5-man team wipe, the blue team hasn't caught up in experience. Even with that, they weren't able to catch up. So now they're sitting there like, let's go, boys. But what can you do? I would predict they walk away with 2 forts. They destroy the top fort. That's a duh. And then with Sylvanas, they can destroy the one in the middle. Besides that, I don't really think there's a whole lot. So the blue team is catching up in experience. But I'm a bit more curious to see how exactly the Saboteurs are going to play this now, because technically what they can do is just try to play Vision and go for the core again. With only 31% last, I mean, all you got to do is get Greymane on the core again and drop a Sanctification, and basically that's it. I mean, timing has to be a little bit better than that, but yeah, he should definitely be able to do that properly. Unless Sylvanas hits a perfect arrow or Malfurion gets the perfect Twilight Dream off as you're trying to get Sanctification into play. So, yeah, Disc is out. They're trying to go for the team fight here. And this is a do-or-die moment for the blue team. With only 30% on your core, you're not allowed to lose the team fight any longer. Yeah, can't have that happen to you. Leo coming in, swinging for the fences as usual. Gets dragged, gets hit by the Tong, and drops rather low immediately. Connects at least a Drain, that helps him a bit, but might still fall here if he doesn't pay attention, and indeed does, as Greymane is able to put in the final blow and takes him down. Rutsu jumping away, survives through the fight. The red team is also taking over on the objective now, and they go for Junkrat, and Drakit just doesn't stand a chance. Sanctification was also dropped, so they are now looking at another objective. Nobody's going to be able to contest this anymore, not with 35 stacks to their name. And they still go for it, like what the hell? They still go in for it. Damn, son, what are you doing? Arcane Punisher is in, and Nagrom is going to die for sure. If they only lose 1 hero here, they can be pretty happy about it. Seems like they're going to lose 2. Malfurion gets caught and is on the run. Diablo, in the meantime, also playing it out in the background here. They can just chase them all day, every day, and yes, Nagrom falls. They can be, they call themselves lucky that they only lost 1 hero in that. Damn. If anything, I expected them to maybe even go for the middle and just try for a core, but they're playing it slow at the bottom. The fort has been destroyed now, so they're trying to play this at least until level 20, which they now have. And that gives us the Hunter's Blunderbuss, and of course on the side of Tyrael, Holy Arena now? Yep, Holy Arena it is. And they have 28 seconds until they have that cooldown back. And once that it's back, they can pretty much just right-click the core, in my opinion. Particularly if they can now get a kill, a follow-up maybe on that jump from the Punisher. But the disc doesn't hit. Level 20 advantage though is huge. It definitely is. My F is in. The only one that hasn't made a choice yet is Dukov. So he is still waiting. But yeah, 15 kills to 9. And level 20 against level 19 with 52,000 damage for Greymane. But you can really tell that they're hesitant to just simply go for the core, right? In a lot of other scenarios, you would have expected them to just say, okay, guys, let's YOLO, let's go in and just drop it, right-click the shit out of it, drop a good Sanctification, shield Tyrael, and then we pull that off. But here, they're very hesitant. After they got wiped on the core earlier, they're so cautious. They're really careful that they're not getting wiped again, because they know that if it happens again, they might lose that game, and they don't want to. Duh. So yeah, we have still a really nice advantage thanks to the Storm Talents for them. And they're coming in through the bottom of the map looking for the second keep. And I mean, to be fair, if they're playing this slow and safe, and if you take more keeps out, then essentially what you're doing is you're just pinning your opponent down, because these catapults are starting to hurt more and more and more. We're already 16 minutes into the game, so this is really starting to hurt. And the keep is, of course, gone. So you can siege up on the core if you want to. Just try and see if you can get a kill, if you can get a good tether to somebody, or you can just play this slow and then play it out later on. The Haka is the only global in the game too, so they can even use that as a tool when everybody fights for the next objective. They don't even have to commit here. But they're trying to come in. Apocalypse doesn't really hit too much, but is at least able to connect with Tyrael thanks to Entomb. But they're not getting a kill yet. Problem is still the same. You have the next objective in the middle, and at the bottom of the map you can push with the Haka, get catapults in. So both teams now have level 20, but for the blue team to turn this around again, it needs a small miracle. And then again, we all know what happened in the winner bracket, right? So in the winner bracket match between the two teams, we also thought a couple of times that the Cats had no leg to stand on. And I guess technically they have one less, but still. Currently they're holding on fairly alright. And if they can win one team fight, they can turn this game around. They got Sylvanas. It would allow them to take a keep down easily. And who knows, maybe they are the ones to go for the core again and just crush them. But on the other hand, Nagrom is... Oh, yeah, it is alive. Pixel perfect escape nearly. Wow. Yeah, Astral Communion is in as well. Okay. So let's see. Oh, that would be great. If he can actually get a really good level 20 off with that, and that wins them the team fight, that would be spectacular. Just imagine that for a moment. So yeah, Shrine is active. They take that out. And guys, let me introduce you to the bad news at the bot lane. The Haka isn't even here. Greymane is now moving in. Oh, damn. They're gonna backdoor this now. Yeah, they're gonna backdoor this quickly. And nobody's moving back just yet. They're just showing a couple of heroes here in the middle. They're just saying hello. That's all that they're doing, and that's game. Because now they're going for the core. Well, Sylvanas is here. Sylvanas is here, so maybe they got a chance, but they have two heroes, one for the heals, and then it's Greymane. Everybody else gets stopped from moving back from the heroes in the middle, and yeah, as you can tell, this is gonna be it. The Tyrael explosion alone is already gonna do damage for you, so there's the 1-0 lead for the Saboteurs in losers bracket final. GG. Alright everybody, before we're going into the next series, once again a quick note and a PSA here. If you want to support the channel for absolutely free, doesn't cost you a thing, you can just click the link to one of our sponsors in the description. They have currently some pretty insane offers because of Black Friday, Christmas coming up, but even just clicking the link and visiting the website already helps the channel. So take a few seconds and check them out. And in addition to that, I also want to highlight again that I absolutely love the products that these guys have. I have multiple watches from them. They also have sunglasses. I own a pair by now too. And currently they have some incredible offers. So if you're still shopping for Christmas, if you're still looking for some presents, you want to buy something for yourself, you should really check them out. Now, to support the channel, again, all you got to do is click the link. That already helps, but I would highly recommend that you browse through the website a little bit, always assuming that you're a little bit like me, you're still looking for presents. You haven't really given them a big thought yet, but yes, you can find all of the special offers that they have there right there on the website. Can obviously change to the language of your country too. So definitely make sure to check them out. But again, to support the stream, to support me, all you got to do for now is just like have a look over there and browse a little bit through their stuff. Thanks a lot and enjoy the rest of the series. Braxis holdout, map number 2. The Saboteurs are in the lead, trying to get revenge here for their loss in the winner bracket. And now that we're in the losers bracket final, obviously, whoever wins this series moves on to the grand final and has another chance to go up against the Raiders. The loser is taking a proud 3rd place in qualifier number 1 and the points that go with it. I mean, no matter what happens here, for both of the teams, that would already be a pretty good start into the tournament, getting some additional points here right from the get-go, and we'll see who at the end of all the qualifiers can establish themselves up at the top. But now that we're going into Braxis, we have of course the 10 heroes unavailable that were played in game number 1. Those cannot be played again, but there's still plenty to pick. And I guess the Saboteurs would love nothing more than to go in and immediately win this with a 2-0. Cho'Gall is getting banned again, so it seems like they're not risking anything. They went up against Cho'Gall once and they are not a fan. They don't want to face off against us anymore. Also, since we're approaching the grand final, one thing that I want to point out real quickly, the grand final is a best of 5, and in the grand final, the first map is actually predetermined. So we as tournament organizers are coming in and saying what the first map is, and it will always be a map like Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay, or something along those lines. In the playoffs, we're doing this for every single round. In the qualifiers, only for the grand final. So in this first qualifier, the starting map in the grand final is going to be Haunted Mines. So another little thing that we're trying to do to make this entertaining for the community and to put the madness into all of this. Ban on Zarya, so no Zarya Garrosh shenanigans anywhere. Also no full-on siege ups with Zarya now on a lane. And Genji getting banned too. But, well, as a first pick, we get Hogger. Hogger in the house. Every single time I see Hogger being picked, we have so many games over the last couple of days that just really bleed into each other. And you're always sitting there like, wasn't he just played a second ago? And I guess he was, but yeah, a little bit too long ago. Not in this series. So, double pick for the red team. They have the lead. If they win this one, then they advance to the grand final and face off against the Raiders. We get a Nuburak picked early for Bad Benny. Give me the beetle, baby. And we get Rhaegar. Alright. Oftentimes what you of course see here on the map is heroes that are getting picked, that have a lot of mobility. Genji, in this case banned. Karazim even oftentimes, and Uburak. Anybody that can traverse terrain is usually very strong, because it allows you to quickly move from the mid to the top lane and really try to fight for the beacons properly. Other advantages of getting a hero like Rhaegar, on the other hand, is, for example, to just get those camps quicker. Really get a little bit more added wave clearing. Lucio is also helping with these quick transitions, so we have that. And we got Muradin, the candy boy. Muradin in the house, together with Hogger. Poor Muradin. Poor Muradin. Muradin has probably a horrible BMI. By the way, how dumb of a measurement is BMI? This thing pisses me off to no end. I actually bought myself like a smart scale a couple of months ago. That smart scale tells me every single day that I'm overweight. And I'm just looking at it. It's like, it has an athlete mode even. You can say like, depending on your resting heart rate and a couple of other things, you can say like, hey, I'm an athlete, I do this much sports every single week, and then it has an athlete mode. Still tells me that I'm overweight, and I'm just like, yeah, thank you for that. Like, my body fat is super low according to this thing, but it's always looking at me and is like, your BMI is horrible, my friend. It's like, yeah, thank you. Can you maybe try and differentiate a little bit between muscle mass and fat mass? Is that a thing? But yeah. There were actually a lot of insurances that were literally like basing some of their insurance policies on BMI. Like, how horrible can a measurement be? Ugh. Also, Zagara again. Dino loves that. He played Zagara so many times on this map. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah. Much better measurements. I mean, now I've read they have like this, what was it, like torso, no, like waist to something else. waste to whatever ratio that apparently is now the latest and greatest, but yeah. Still kind of funny. BMI, though, every single time I see this, I was like, yeah, okay, get lost. So, Vala and Gul'dan. Finally, we're getting Gul'dan. I was already wondering the entire time why nobody, even in Tomb of Spider Queen, busted out the man with the overbite, or the underbite. So, we get Vala again, we get Gul'dan, and with Dainu playing his Zagara, we still would need somebody that can dish out a bit more direct damage in these team fights. I mean, Zagara can, of course, with some of her tools, also chip in, but she is squishy. Girl's squishy. So... Rutzo, final pick, and it's Carrigan again. Can Rutzo carry again with Carrigan? We're gonna find out on Braxis Holdout. The Cats against the Saboteurs. It is Braxis Holdout, and on the left side, the blue team is desperate to push through, win on Braxis, and force game number 3. They're playing this with Captain Rex on Lucio. We have Nagrom on Mirrodin, Unforgiven on Vala, Dark Druida, aka Dracula, with Gul'dan. No Saki build today. Instead, we're getting the Flame build. We got Herath on Hogger. And on the right side of the map, it is the Saboteurs. With Khaldor on Imperius, Death Knight on Rhaegar, Dainu playing Zagara, Bad Benny on Anubrak, and Rutzu on Carrigan. Always scary. His Carrigan is always super scary. Vala hasn't made a choice yet, by the way. Neither has Carrigan. So, is it going to be an auto attack, or do we get an arrow build? There's no way this is going to get... Nah, I mean... I'm currently thinking about what I would really like to see here, but you could definitely play the arrow build. They got multi-shot. Wow, I haven't seen that in a hot minute, but I actually like it. That's a lot of wave clear that they're now all of a sudden adding to this. So, you can get a lot of damage done with this. We have seen that in the past, time and time again. So, let's see what we're gonna get in regards to stacks in the late game, because they have to, of course, work on this. But yeah, multi-shot build, I like it. I mean, all 3 builds at the end of the day for Vala are viable, but these days it's really the auto attack build that dominates everything. We've even seen it now on Battlefield of Eternity several times over an arrow build, even though it is so strong against the Immortal there. But if team fights is what you're looking for, then it is a really cool thing to have. But yeah, let's see how many stacks we're getting with this build in particular. So Vala is already sitting tight. Mirrodin is gone. Would have been a nice opportunity to unleash another multi-shot and get some additional hits together. They're gonna help a bit, I suppose, also with those creep tumors. Vision at the bottom of the map thanks to Zagara is obviously a given right now. But let's go. Can you remember the old multi-shot, by the way? Like the alpha, beta multi-shot? I think it was even in a release, where you could get cooldown reduction with your multi-shot. Oh boy, that was just amazing. You were just carpeting everything every couple of seconds and walking away with insane amounts of damage. It was just a shotgun principle. You never needed to aim. You just like aimed it into the general direction and were just unleashing everything you had and walked away with top damage in the game. Old school Vala multi-shot, it was just glorious. That's obviously long past, but it was so much fun to play. People hated going up against that for good reason. Wasn't OP at all, by the way. Like, not at all. Blizzard just nerfed it a bit, you know, to change things, to make it a little bit different. Had nothing to do with balance or so such. But yeah. The red team, talking about balance, is at least early on dominating this one too. So they have the 100% Zerg wave against 18% on the other side. So they win the first one. And that means that down at the bottom of the map, Gul'dan now has to work overtime to push this back. He gets a bit of an assistance play from Vala, but since both of them are already getting pushed back here and the gate is falling, it seems like this fort might get destroyed too. Another hit is already coming, and that's the end of Mirrodin. Mirrodin died for the second time. 2 times already that he has died now, and that is a problem. I mean, I'm telling you, that little fatty is just not moving out of the way fast enough. And that's not me saying it. I mean, that is Blizzard. Blizzard has stated very clearly that Mirrodin is overweight. Don't believe me? I'm gonna prove it to you later on level 7. But yeah, Khaldor now at the top. Has defended well. They lost the wall, but, I mean, who cares, right? Half of the hit points on the fort are gone. So, after the first objective, a slight lead. A slight lead, pretty solid. Mirrodin is back. Question is just for how long. So let's go, Nagrom. Show us what you got. Let's get things going. Arsenal on level 4 for Vala. So going full on for this. And here comes Anub'arak. I would have loved to see that Stormbolt. No! The zoning Stormbolt on the Beetle. So yeah, Nagrom just identified very early that the real threat was the smaller beetle. You have to watch out for the small ones. The small and silent ones, those are the ones that you have to watch out for. And he realizes that quickly, and that's why he storm bolted him. But now they're going for Vala again, and she's immediately in trouble. Gets out though. Barely, by the way. I mean, nearly dies then. Still has to run away from the Hydralisk. No, Nagrom, not again. No, don't do this to me. No. 3 times. The dwarf gets murdered. Yeah. That is bad, bad news. Okay, so up at the top lane, yeah, we have Hogger still poking this out a bit, but now they are absolutely murdering that bot lane, just diving past the fort in an attempt to take it out. And there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to. They even have a camp here as well. So that's that. But Lucio is dead too. That's 4 kills to 0. There's the level 7 talents. That gives us the hot pursuit, of course, for Vala. And, well, at the same time now that the fort gets destroyed, Muradin, you see he's trying to hide it. He goes for give him the axe and not the heavy impact. So he's trying to hide it. He is in pain. BMI. Yeah, BMI, big Muradin incoming. That's basically what that stands for. But yeah, why do you think that that level 7 talent is called heavy impact, huh? Because that's what happens whenever he starts jumping. The man is just a little bit, you know, like too many Christmas cookies. I understand that. I'm suffering from the same thing. All the supermarkets around me have all of a sudden added gingerbread again to their collection. Do you think I like that? No. Marzipan as well? Like, my days are numbered. The scale hates me every single morning. But Muradin, whew, he's already there. It's gonna get pretty bad. So, yeah, big Muradin. When he's jumping, when he's going for a dwarf launch, when he's going for a toss there, he's jumping in, and it's a heavy impact that we're talking about afterwards. The earth is shaking, California is giving out earthquake warnings, and if you're anywhere near a pool, the water disappears within seconds, so it is rough. And, yeah, big boy Muradin over here, he's having trouble. I mean, he's died 4 times. 3 times. Ah, I can see the future. I think he's dying now, isn't he? Yeah, they're getting crushed. The Saboteurs, they are making a statement here. They were not happy about what happened in the winner bracket. But at least there's at least a counter kill. Now, they're losing Vala in the process, and I guess they might now lose the objective too, because both of the beacons are again under the control of the Saboteurs. But it is getting a little bit dangerous, also for Nagrom again. Nagrom, jump! There we go. Alright, gets out. Finally. Good man, good man. Not dying for once here. That's how we like it. 6 kills to 1, nearly level 10, and now they're chasing the flea back. They can just go after Smell. They don't even have to see him. And there's the kill. Down he goes, and we got level 10. More for Zagara. Yeah, now they can go again for the objective and for double beacon control if they want to move in for it. Blue team is doing their best to defend it down at the bottom of the map, but top side there's still a push happening. 31 stacks for Vala, so she's gonna get more in there. Nice more against Gul'dan, and that is the end of him. Kerrigan follows up with the combo, and he has absolutely no chance there. Now, Muradin dies too. I was just praising him a second ago, and now he again disappoints me. Okay. Vala at the bottom of the map, she's like, nah, I'm done with this. So they're giving up the objective for now. I gotta give it to the Saboteurs. They're exploiting the level 10 ability. They're going for another kill, and holy hell, they're just crushing this. So over here at the top lane, they get another quick double kill against Hogger and Lucio. Now they can focus on the fort. They're taking the objective at the same time, and then they're going to grab this one as well. The Saboteurs, they're not only looking for a victory, they're also looking to make a statement here and saying that loser bracket, the winner bracket loss was a fluke. We're way better than that, aren't we? Nice connect from Harzops with his stun, as you can see there, and then the follow-up was perfect. They get the 2 kills. It's 11 kills to 1. Who was actually feeding? Seriously, who's feeding on the red team side? Ooh, an Uberak. And Uberak is feeding. Benny, Benny, Benny. That's a bad Benny right there. Bad Benny. That's not a good Benny. That's a bad Benny. Yeah, he's feeding. He died. It's like, he has to buy the next round of beers, honestly. He needs to be punished. So, either with that or that. But anyways, so we got him now with nearly level 13, and of course, now that you have the objective up, you can actually try and go for the keep already. Muradin went full haymaker at this point. And yeah, they're breaking at least through the top. We're only 8 minutes in, so that's one of the biggest problems. There's not enough push power behind this just yet. And there's another death. A solidarity death from Rutsu, as he heard that Bad Benny was the only one feeding so far. He wanted to make sure that his frontline tank doesn't feel too bad, so he said, alright. I'm going to sacrifice my life once, but that's all that I'm doing. That's all that I'm doing. Nice Ancestral, keeping Hazu alive. The chase is on though. Blue team is currently smelling blood in the water and is trying to get a hit in. Level 13 is ready. Hazu Ops is done for, so he's gone. And they didn't even take... they took a little bit of damage at the keep. Those Zerglings were a bit pesky. Still a 1.5 level lead. And I guess they're gonna try for boss. Are they? Seems like it. So, blue team attempting to bring it back now. Going for the boss, going for the attack, and trying to see what exactly they can do here. They can't lose this one. If they win it, they have a chance to gain some momentum. But now Hoggar's gone. And that level 13 talent is just too much to handle. Lucio is dead, and so is going to be the rest of the team, aren't they? Look at this. Boss is about to be claimed. Rhaegar forces them back. They're lucky that Gul'dan was able to walk out of that fight, but of course now the boss is taken, stolen away by the red team, and they're trying to flank in. And they might not get... No, they're actually getting him. They're getting him, Gul'dan. And they're also going to get Vala. Vala's trying to run left, right, and is not able to escape, so she goes down too. Now the boss is coming through the bot lane, and that's going to be a disaster here. 15 kills to 3. 15 kills. Yeah, 45 stacks for Vala. Definitely not enough. Seems more and more like the Saboteurs are going to be the team to go up against the Raiders in the grand final of the first qualifier. But yeah, what a comeback here. They're coming in swinging, going for the keep at the 10-minute mark. Benny gets the Ancestral. He still survives. That boss, by the way, has taken very little to no damage. But Zagara gets murdered. Zagara is gone. And the boss, I don't even think it can destroy the keep by itself. So it's going to do a fair amount of damage, but it's not going to take the entire thing down. So it seems like the cats are still holding on. Cats are holding on longer and longer as the red team tries to retreat and on the way back steal some camps away. Stormbolt gets dodged. Alright, Rutsu, can they catch him? They're trying to turn it again. Muradin, and he gets away. The rest of the team is already on the move, so Lucio is jumping in, trying to force them back. There's the Ultralist, doesn't connect. Hazu is a little bit alone and will likely die. Yep, he goes down. Muradin jumped back out. But we still got the camp pushing at the top, and it's going to damage the keep a bit. It's going to force them back eventually too, but that's an added damage that they definitely don't need at this point. The pings are already happening. So yeah, this is going to fall a little bit lower. Somebody got to deal with it. We have now Benny taking over the control at the bottom of the map. They're waiting for Imperius. They're trying to buy as much time as they can. Whole goal here is, of course, to deny the objective to the cats. And Zagara is already topside doing exactly that. And while she's getting chased, we have now seen both of the keeps fall to 50%. There's the Maw, but Dino is alone, and Dino is dead. So yeah, congratulations. You are staggering deaths here. But then again, they also killed Hoggar, so that makes up for it. Just as Imperius came back, they kill Zagara. If Hoggar doesn't die, it's a 5 versus 4 on the map for the cats for another minute. So, yeah. Cocoon is out. And trying to see if they can stun them out. Oh, Benny misses a stun. But this could still be a kill. Good Horrify, at least the defensive one. But everybody is still running here. Running, and guys, the news is bad because the bot lane still suffers. That keep nearly destroyed. Now we have level 16. The fights continue. Nagrom. Yeah, my man has problems here. The problems, he is suffering from chronic illness. It's a chronic lack of hit points that he is fighting with. And in this case, it leads to death number 5. At the top, there's even more... I mean, again, it's just like winions everywhere. Top lane, bot lane. If there was a mid lane, they would struggle there as well. But now we have Dino taking over at the top once more. They have 9 kill advantage, and they're looking again at a big lead on the objective. So right now we're already looking at 20%. Of course, without Muradin, they won't be able to do anything. I mean, they might be able to just walk in and steal one away if nobody guards it. But that's about it. So they're trying exactly that at 52%. But yeah, there's 3 heroes. They are fully aware of that. So they're going to take the camp, and then they're going to rotate down. And Gul'dan will then eventually start to come in, but with all of those creep tumors that we also have on the lane, it means that they're gonna know about it very, very quickly. So 66% against 2. And with that, well, here comes the attack. They're trying for the fight. There's still no 16 talent for the cats. That's a huge problem. And Muradin, he pulls a Houdini. He came, he saw, and he peed his pants. Veni, Vidi, pee-pee. Now they're also losing more here. So, yeah, that kind of hurts, and that is most likely going to put the nail in the coffin. So that little triple kill there towards the end, we're going to take another close look at that. But yeah, just beautiful. The more against 3, and then the follow-up is there, and all of a sudden it's just like, and everybody just dies. Everybody dead or dying. And that's game. That's a 2-0 victory for the Saboteurs. The Cats take 3rd place in the first qualifier, and the Saboteurs now move on to the next round of the tournament. They move on to the grand final, where they are going to face off against the Raiders in a best-of-5 series. Nicely done by the red team. GG. Well played. Congratulations.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.